do you do? Week after week for the past few years, it's been my pleasure to report to you on the industrial family that serves the nation, United States Steel. Now I want you to have a look at the record. I want you to see what's happening. I want you to hear from the more than 280,000 workers in that industrial family. They are shattering production records in peacetime, just as they shattered production records in wartime. And they're mighty proud of the fact. Let's check with one of them. Oh, Jim Robbins. You fellows are pretty proud of your production records, aren't you?
We sure are, Mr. Hicks. Of course, you know I wasn't here during the war.
I know. You did about a 4-year hitch, didn't you, Jim?
Air Force.
But your dad was here.
My dad's been here for 35 years. One of my uncles more than that. I've got relatives all over the place. Well, see you later.
Yes, relatives all over the place. While Jim was away, they supplied him from the home front, turning out steel for tanks instead of cars, for guns instead of refrigerators. All production was geared to winning the war. Back from defending America, Jim is again in the business of building America. A strong America so essential to world recovery. It's no small order. It requires new and better facilities for the new and better steels advanced by research and technology during the war. Long before the war's end, United States Steel was planning the reconversion to peacetime production. But let's go back and pick up Jim Robbins' story from the day he came home.
Mrs. Robbins.
Oh, Jim. Oh.
Good old Betsy. Don't tell me she still runs.
Well, she walks, but in a very dignified manner.
The old car, that was just one of the things we wanted to replace. We wanted new homes and new home appliances, new refrigerators, new washing machines, and new stoves. There were so many things we'd all been waiting for.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, son. It's been a long time.
Sure has. Where's Mom?
In the kitchen.
Remember me?
Your hands are filthy. Go upstairs and wash.
Okay, Mom. That's for you, dear. Thought you might like it.
Oh, like it? Oh, I'm crazy about it.
That's some Bertha's garden. One of Hitler's own personal bodyguards wore it.
I'll plant some philodendron in it.
Oh, no, you don't. This is for you, Mom.
For me?
Look inside of it.
Real handmade lace. Oh, it's lovely.
It's from Brussels.
From Brussels.
That's in Belgium, Mom.
The old hometown is going to look pretty small after all the places you've been, but you'll get used to it.
Look, it could be the smallest town in the world, but it's my home and I like it.
The civilian suit, the tweeds Jim dreamed about during those years of service, well, they didn't fit Jim anymore. The house didn't fit either. There There were so many things that Jim and America needed after the war. How about the safety shoes? They still look all right. They'll come in mighty handy on the job. The job. The important job of making steel for a greater America. 1 in 4 in United States Steel is a returned veteran.
All right, Mr. Robbins. Will you step in here, please?
Thank you.
Hello, Jim.
Hello, Monty.
Have a seat, won't you?
Thank you.
Place looking any different to you?
Good, not different.
I understand you're interested in some night school courses. Anything particular?
No, nothing in particular.
In that case, I believe I would study the list of available courses. I'm sure you'll find what you want. Make up your mind. We'll start from there.
Right, good.
How's the folks?
Oh, fine. Of course, we're a little crowded, 4 people in one house, but we'll make out.
The employee training program began long before the war. The students are steel workers of all ages, improving themselves in the skills of making steel, preparing for better jobs at better pay. United States Steel was ready for the returning veteran with intensified classroom and on-the-job training. A special program for disabled veterans helped many of them acquire advanced skills and earn more than they did in their pre-war jobs. Everywhere across the entire nation, you find the expanding answer to the challenge of peace. The business of building America is the biggest business in the world, and it will go on always. Returning men like Jim found their place again in the industrial family that serves the nation.
Hiya, fellas. Jim, you old son of a gun, you. How are you, fella? Swell to have you back, Jim.
It's swell to be back.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Ed. Say, when did you get out?
About a month ago. Navy always was pretty sharp, you know.
Oh, sure.
That's for sure.
Hey, fellas, didn't you know we had an army, too?
No kidding. You know, we heard rumors about that in the Air Force. Had no proof.
You said it, Johnny.
Guess it was better than walking.
Or swimming.
Welcome back, Jim.
Thanks, Lee. Sure, I'm glad to see you.
I enjoyed the other letters, especially that one from Paris.
I bet you never saw anything like Paris in the Navy.
Yeah? Ever been to the South Seas?
Ooh.
Jim is a guide setter. Red-hot billets from the furnace pass through a series of roughing stands, where the billet is continually reduced in thickness until it becomes a red-hot rod of metal. Further reduced in thickness, it passes round and round the looping floors through guide after guide and finally shoots like a javelin to the hotbeds and delivery tables. It requires a skilled, integrated crew to perform the operation successfully. From the delivery tables, the bars pass on to the shearman, who cuts them to required lengths. The men at the receiving tables tie and ticket them for shipment. In carload after carload, they join the products of other mills and head for steel users everywhere. Different products call for entirely different sets of guides.
625, right, Jim? Right. 5/8. You remember how, don't you? Been setting those guides in my sleep for the past 4 years.
Various sizes for automobile springs and typewriter keys, for silo bands and concrete reinforcing bars. As the red-hot steel shoots through the guides, Jim sees in the glow the part it will play in building America. Jim Robbins is typical of the thousands of veterans in United States Steel. With all of them coast to coast from mine to mill, the order of the day is full speed ahead. And the new construction program proceeds simultaneously with all high peacetime production. The Robina Mine, 80 miles up the Monongahela River from Pittsburgh, is an example. Opened since the war, it's the most modern coal mine in the world. But more important, it's designed to be the safest coal mine in the world. A system of locomotives and conveyor belts speeds the coal at the rate of 50 tons a minute, all the while the work continues on the new coal washers. Coal processed to coke becomes one of the basic ingredients in the making of steel. In Clairton, Pennsylvania, the quenching cars roll the incandescent mass hour after hour from the coke ovens as construction crews make way for new coke ovens. In Gary, Indiana, the quenching towers drench the carloads of coke hour after hour as construction forges ahead. Coke joins with limestone and iron ore in towering blast furnaces. Regularly, the molten metal flows into giant ladles. But just as regularly at Chicago, Illinois, work progresses on the new modern blast furnaces. There are 2 new ones there. They're just part of the $775 million construction and modernization program begun since VJ Day. That's a lot of money in anybody's language. Where does it come from? 228,000 stockholders of United States Steel have invested with faith in the future of America. They make possible through their savings the plants and equipment. And with management and employees, they make up the productive team that serves you, the public. They are your next-door neighbor, your grocer, your doctor, your local hospital, the company behind your insurance policy, the college where you send your son or daughter. They are all walks of life and all America. They each hold an average of about 50 shares. To them and to all America, the challenge of peace held no promise of easy victory. Up and down and across the land, as the men came home to the challenge of peace, new mills were being built right beside those in operation. In Vandergrift, Pennsylvania, for example, you find new facilities for the increased production of silicon steel, specially alloyed and processed steel to increase efficiency of electric motors and transformers. In the Irvin Works near Pittsburgh, you find construction of new facilities side by side with production of sheet steel for your automobiles, refrigerators, washing machines, stoves, and the cans on your grocer's shelves. America demands billions of them a year. Tin cans are actually steel cans, 98% steel and 2% tin. In Gary, Indiana, there is further increase in steel sheet and tin plate capacity. Production rolls along while the crews install the new machinery. As sections of the new mill are finished, they're immediately put into and increased production. Birmingham, Alabama is known as the Magic City. The wonder there in the Fairfield Works is the same you find north, south, east, and west. You find again the story of production and construction side by side. You find them converting a hot rolling mill to a cold reduction mill, improving the quality of steel for new and better peacetime products. Progress anywhere in America is good news for all of us. And so United States Steel proudly plays its part in the amazing industrial development of the Far West. In Geneva, Utah, it has purchased the plant it designed, built, and operated for the government without fee or commission during the war. The wartime production of plate for ships has given way to the production of hundreds of thousands of tons of steel for peacetime uses in the Far West. In Pittsburgh, and this one is in California, there's a brand new mill. It's a cold reduction mill designed to keep pace with the rapid tempo of the Pacific Coast. Steel products can speed through these new machines at the rate of 35 miles an hour. More than 300,000 tons of tin plate and sheet steel every year. This brand new mill provides a major source of supply for Western agriculture and industry. And there's another one scheduled in Los Angeles. Now, as always, United States Steel maintains a fair and equitable policy of distribution. Buyers of tonnage lots order direct from the producing companies. Others rely on warehouses. United States Steel has built a new one in St. Louis. 3 more are opening in Cleveland, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Throughout the land, men are building and rebuilding the strong America so essential to world recovery. And wherever you go, you will find them using steel in the foundation and framework. Steel sinews for commerce, industry, and transportation. Massive girders for large construction projects, and smaller items for family dwellings, which brings us back closer to home and Jim.
Gosh, honey, I get as big a kick out of daydreaming as you, but this, jeepers.
You said the same thing before we got the apartment and the car. We got them.
I know, and I'm crazy about them. Sometimes I'm so proud of you, I just can't stand it.
Look, you just stay behind me and keep pushing. We'll get there.
Do you know something?
What?
The way you just said that, I've got a hunch we will.
You bet we will. We won't buy it. We'll build it.
Someday.
Someday. For young and restless America, that means the determination to make way for tomorrow. And that same philosophy is behind the development program of United States Steel. It is the reason for construction side by side with all high peacetime production. America is demanding more of everything it needs, and production is being stepped up to meet these demands. They have added new machines in Joliet, Illinois, although the largest nail manufacturing operation in the world is already there. Seamless steel pipe, a vital artery of the nation. It carries gas, oil, and water. It drills wells. It carries the fuel for automobiles, airplanes, and ships. America wants more. And in Lorain, Ohio, surveyors, engineers with their blueprints, mechanics, welders with their glaring torches, construction crews are in and out and everywhere. Engineers show you a brand new plant in Waukegan, Illinois. It's a miracle of planning for production, a miracle resulting from years of know-how and keeping abreast of technological developments. The cranes with electric eyes, the ovens you can walk under with perfect safety to make repairs. They are examples of the tomorrow that is here today. But the engineers are already restless to improve the job. The record of United States Steel is everywhere to see, and it starts with the very sources of steel. In Minnesota, old mines have become new mines because scientists dare to dream new metallurgical uses for all grades of ore. In its laboratories everywhere, like this new one in Duluth, the industrial family that serves the nation is prologuing a potent future. Another plant, another product, another dream. The business of building America is the biggest business in the world, and it is always unfinished business. In America, men can look at a hole in the ground and see a building, a factory, a finished product. They believe in the someday. They understand the expanding capacity of dreams. The sky is the limit in America. For you, and for me, and for Jim.